All right, week 1, day 2. This is a lighter bench day. I'm not bringing up the weight for a couple weeks. I'm gonna build myself back up. Not really too happy about my failed third attempt at my meet on Saturday. So I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna get some stretching in. Now my goal for the long term is to actually either keep my weight the same or drop a little bit. I'm not going to cut or anything like that, but I am going to start running again, which should bring my weight down naturally. But my next meet, I want to be down to the 90 kilogram range. And I think that's very possible while keeping my numbers relatively where they are and hopefully a little bit higher. Working on my shoulder mobility the other day took me about 20 minutes of stretching just to get underneath the barbell for my squats. Goal is within the next few weeks to not have to do so much. So today is going to be a simple 5x5 at 65%. So I'm going to go with 255. And then I'm going to drop it down to 60%. Go to close grip. And then I'll hit some accessories. So not an excessive amount of weight, but a decent amount of volume planned for today. Doing 5 sets of the 255 and then 3 sets of 6 for the close grip. And my music shut off. Interesting. See why that happened. It's because it disconnected. Odd. All right. I don't know why I disconnected and now I can't connect. There we go. All right. Where was I? Most important stretch for this one. That's static hold. Ever since I started doing these, I've had limited shoulder pain compared to the rest of the time. And everyone that I've suggested these to or who has done these says the same thing. Bring this over here. Do these in between my sets. All right. Getting to warming up on the bench. All right. Just gonna start out with this bar. All my reps today for my working sets are gonna be pause reps. All right. Let's get some weight on this thing. All right. The second warm-up set. All right, more weight. So I've been replaying the video of my 396 attempt, and I mean, there's a lot of things I didn't like about it. I didn't like my footing. I didn't like my initial unrack attempt. I really just chalk it up to, did I really feel after my second attempt that a 22-pound jump was the right decision? And the answer is probably no. I probably should have jumped up to, maybe 5 kilograms. So, 385, which I had done, a couple times before. But, I was in the hype of it. Adrenaline was going. And I just said, fuck it. And said, I'm jumping up 10. So I went from 374 to 396. And, I should have known with my 374, my footing was terrible. I couldn't get a grip on that carpeted platform that they had. And if you actually watch the unracking of that, my feet kind of skid out a little bit. It was still a good lift, but there was probably too much struggle in that lift for me to be confident in going up another 22 pounds. So, that's pretty much where I left that at. I'm still not gonna let it lie. I'm still gonna try to up my 1 rep PR. I'm gonna give it a few weeks. I'm gonna, build up to a heavy single in a few weeks and see where I'm at then. If I get to 385 and that feels like it, that's it. Might try 390, might try 395, but I got some time. So as far as getting up to that, I'm not really too worried about this point. It's just something that I definitely want to get to. Some place I thought I was, but shit happens. All right, let's get this next warm up in. Yeah, one last warm up set after this. All right, last warm up set. There's a lot of sets today. I got 5 working sets after this, so like I said, volume. Ugh. All right, now we can finally start our working sets. All right, let's get this first working set out of the way. Now, I'm not gonna film all 5 of my working sets. I'll probably do just this first one and then the last one. It should all be more of the same, but obviously there might be a difference in my exertion on the last set as opposed to this first one. So I'm definitely going to film that. And yeah, and I'll show my accessories as well today. I'm lucky enough to have this whole gym to myself. So, all right, let's go. Whew. All right, time to stretch a little bit, then get to my next one. All right, 5th and final set. Then we drop down to 235, which only 20 pounds less, and do some close grip. Whew. I'm taking roughly 3 minutes in between each one of these sets. I'll probably do about 2 minutes in between my close grip sets, and about a minute to a minute and a half in between each one of my accessory sets. So, for accessories, I have close grip row, some incline dumbbell bench, and then some tricep push downs. So I still got some work to do today. So let's get this last set of pause reps in. Drop this weight down a little bit. All right, first set of close grips. Definitely going to be sore tomorrow. Now these are just going to be touch and go. I'm doing 6. All right, 2 more sets. All right, I'm going to start off these. Because of the setup we have here in Valatia, can't really brace myself against anything. So, and I kind of have to sit at an angle to this. So I'm only going to start off at 100 pounds. But I'm doing 8 to 12, so I'm guessing I'll probably get 12 of this, and I'll go up a little bit. Nope, that's not gonna work. Oh, man. Really know what I could do minus moving this over a little bit, going at more of an angle, moving the whole rack. There we go. Yeah, this is gonna be trial and error. Move this back. And then get some weight on that. All right, put it up to 125. Added a weight on the other side there. It's only 45, don't know if it'll keep it there. If I'm gonna be doing my primary bench day here, I might have to switch this out. Oh, that was much better, but might switch it out to a chest supported dumbbell row, something. I don't know, we'll see. Yep, definitely gonna do some chest supported incline dumbbell rows. All right, we'll get a different angle for these. All right. All right, now time for some incline dumbbell. Second last rep felt a little weird there. It went up. All right. Last workout of the day. Tricep push downs. I got 3 sets of these. 8 to 12 reps. I got 60 on there right now. Probably go up a little bit in my next 2. See how this 12 feels. Definitely gotta go up on that. Now, according to my Garmin, that was a 733 calorie workout. So, a lot of calories burned. Had a little bit of a snafu with the cables. I think for the future, for this day, I'm going to swap out that seated cable row with the bench supported dumbbell row. I'll add the seated cable row another day, or I'll swap back and forth, alternate them. But yeah, a lot of volume today. Definitely gonna be feeling this tomorrow. So I'm hoping to be able to get up here and do a lot more of these mic'd up sessions. It's nice when you have the whole place to yourself, but that's not always the case, which is, how it works. And, to be honest with you, I actually enjoy working out when there's other people around too. So there might be days when I purposely go to whatever location I know is going to have people, especially on days when I'm building up the heavy singles. I always put up the spotting arms, but it's always nice to have somebody there to spot. And I'm a talker, so when you're spending 3 minutes or so in between each set, getting little conversations here and there. So, but I'm gonna try to get up here as much as I can when I know there's gonna be nobody here, just so I can do more of these sessions. Hopefully, more than just my bench sessions. Next week, I'm hoping to get here for my squat session. It's a much smaller location here, but I mean, it has more than anything, like everything that you would need. So, and I specifically like the bench setup here. The other location has really nice benches to set up and everything like that, but being able to come here specifically and have a dedicated bench that you don't have to, maneuver and figure out if it's right perfectly center or not is a lot of work taken out of the guesswork of it. So stay tuned for more of these. And yeah, I'm gonna go eat. Go eat a lot. I'm starting these off lighter weight, mostly because I have to get my diet on point with my future goals. I had my calories set between 3,000 and 3,200 before, and I was maintaining my weight a little bit and dropping weight here and there. And yes, I want to go down in weight a little bit, but I don't want to drop it dramatically, and I don't want it to drastically go down. So I have to kind of gauge where I'm at with burning calories for the day, considering I'm going to start adding running into the mix. And I already do a decent amount of cardio. Even with this workout today, 730 calories is a lot to make up when you add it into what you normally burn for the day. Considering that I normally get about 10,000 steps a day on top of that, I have to start looking at like possibly upping my calories, anywhere, 33, 34, maybe even 3,500. But it's going to be a little trial and error for a while. And yeah, we'll go from there.